I'm John White. With me today is Larry Dixon. Larry is a master gardener here in Doñana County, and we do have some items from the mailbag. And Larry, what's our first question?
Okay, John, first question this morning is from Joan of Las Cruces, who wants to know what is the best tomato variety in our area.
Okay. Tomato varieties are kind of hard to make recommendations on because everybody has a little something they like different about them. The taste or, plants grow differently. They have different days to maturity. They have different sizes to them. So it's kind of hard to make just an overall tomato recommendation. So what I'd say is to, make sure that you pick a healthy transplant when you're picking your tomato varieties. You want one that has a good, strong stem on it. You can see this one has a good proportion to the plant, and the height and the width of the plant. Has a good strong stem on it. Has pretty good dark green color on it. The leaves look in pretty good shape, so those are some of the things that you kind of want to look for. And then when you're looking at the tag will give you a lot of information. This one is Heartland variety, and it's a VFN, so that means it's verticillium, fusarium, and nematode resistant. So this particular variety here, it does have some built-in resistance. So if you have a nematode problem in your garden, then this is something that you want to maybe look at as a variety, because it does have that nematode resistance. And then the verticillium and fusarium are both soil-borne soil diseases, so it's hard to say whether your soil is going to have that problem or not. So it's best to go ahead and get them when you have that. So again, just kind of when you're in the nursery, look at some of the tags and look at some of the different descriptions and see what kind of hits your fancy. And remember, in the southern part of the state, we have very high heat during the summer, and tomato production will dip down. So you don't expect a lot of production during the real heat of the summer due to our very dry conditions. So those are some tips on tomatoes.
Very good.
Larry, what's our next question?
Okay, John, our next question comes from Susan at Truth or Consequences. She wants to know how I can stop my fruit tree from sprouting at the base.
Okay. Fruit trees and some of our ornamental trees do have a tendency to put out sprouts at the base. Fruit trees are kind of particularly known for doing that because they are a budded tree, and you'll have your known variety on the top part of the tree and then a rootstock variety. And a lot of times the growth difference between those two, the rootstock might be a little more vigorous, tend to put out more sprouts. This is just a sample tree here, but it is putting out a lot of sprouts. You do want to go down at the point of origin where those sprouts are coming out and clip them off at that point. Don't clip them off just at ground level, because the actual point of origination might be underground, and they'll just send out even more sprouts. So keep those cut off. There are some chemicals, growth regulators that can be applied to stop sprouting. Some of them you can use on fruit trees and some of them you can't. So you kind of have to look at the label on those to make sure what you can use. But keep these cut off as quickly as you see them coming up. Any kind of damage to the base of the tree a lot of times will create more sprouting. Or if there's some kind of damage to the top part of the tree where it forces more energy down below, you'll get a lot of sprouting from the base. So on a lot of trees,
after pruning or something, maybe, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can set it off. Weed whippers, when you're trying to grow them, where there's turf around them, can cause them to sprout. So, but fruit trees, it is pretty common on, especially this is an apple, and that's very common. So you just need to keep them clipped off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, John, another question I have from Robert in Las Cruces wants to know the name of the tree in bloom here in Las Cruces with purple flower clusters.
Okay, with the trees, we do have a tree that's kind of showing up in a lot of the landscapes more here in the Las Cruces area, and you probably see it in some other areas of the state. And this is the purple Robe Locust, and it has a real pretty kind of pinkish, almost magenta colored flower on it. Again, it's a locust, has the smaller leaflets on it. The tree will get up around 20-25 feet tall, so it will get some height on it. We see them around town here on different buildings and in yards, and it is a very colorful tree, and a lot of people like it for this beautiful spring bouquet of flowers that are on it. So again, this is a good tree to use. It needs a medium water use, and so it's a tree that can be used in the landscape. Again, about a medium-sized tree. So it is deciduous, drops its leaves during the winter, and we'll put on this pretty spring display. So that's what that tree is, Purple Robe Locust. Well, that's kind of it from the mailbag today. Larry, I'd like to thank you a lot for helping with the questions. And
It's always a pleasure to be here, John.